Good morning. This is Dominic with the Back Vlogs with another coffee ASMR at approximately 6:59 a.m. I have to put some stuff away first before I make this coffee. But yeah. Um, so my fiance and I, the other day, I think it was Monday, we watched The Menu. I don't remember who the director's name. I don't remember his name, because it was a. It doesn't really have a large filmography. It's. Yeah, no, I'm not sure what his name is. One moment. I gotta take out some fucking trash. Dang, son. That is some trash. That is overfilled. So yeah, we watched The Menu, which I think 2022 it came out, and it was something that I wanted to watch whenever it initially came out, and that's another thing that it didn't fly under the radar because I was aware of it and I wanted to see it. I just never got around to going out to a theater to see it. But yeah, we saw that. It was a really great time. I thought it was gonna be more like horror, and it is it. I guess it can be classified as that, but it's more of like a thriller, kind of like a psychological thriller also. But there are some comedic elements in it too. I think what the film was trying to go for was balancing thriller and comedy, and I feel like if it honed in its comedy tone more, it definitely would have been a great black comedy. You know what I mean? Because there's jokes. There are dark jokes here and there, but the film also uses editing to tell really dark jokes, because throughout the film, whenever the people in the film are about to eat Ralph Fiennes's, i.e. homicidal Gordon Ramsay's recipes, there's this thing that the film does where it shows you what the name of it is and what the recipes are. But later in the film, as the crazy shit starts happening and you start getting into the crazy recipes, if you can call them that, it starts to use that. It kind of breaks the fourth wall a little bit by using the ingredients list and the names of the dishes, to basically make fun of the people in the film and make fun of the events in the film. And if it was a comedy, and I guess it is a comedy, but if it honed in on its comedy, it would have been funny. But because it really wasn't honing in on its comedy very much, it just felt. It didn't. I mean, it felt dark, but it felt. It felt like a very hopeless situation for everybody in that situation. I just said situation twice in that sentence. But yeah, and it was it invoked really interesting feelings to me because I was very uncomfortable seeing it. I don't know. That's another unique film, I would say. I saw somebody's Letterboxd review of it, and I think I had something really interesting to say about the film. And I don't know if the film was intending to go for this. And you'll see, if you look up this film on Letterboxd, it's one of the first ones. You'll see it. It's near the top. But this person's interpretation was that The Menu is a criticism of multiple facets of the film industry, whereas like Ralph Fiennes' character is just like, he's the filmmaker who was passionate about it, and then he started to lose his passion throughout the decades of basically being beaten down by the industry, where to the point where he's just like a husk of what he used to be, and that the patrons of the film are like representative of I guess patrons of films. You have the Anya Joy Taylor's boyfriend is like a fanatic, which could be a parallel to. I think she sees a squirrel, which could be a parallel to like snobby film school people who know or who pretend to know more than they do. You want food? You want food? I haven't fed her yet. I'll feed her now. And then of course you have I don't remember the one guy's name, the actor's name, but he plays an actor in this film also. And he's just the film that he acted in, he really just did for a paycheck. And his partner, I'm trying to remember what his partner even did, but they were just like, they were not really corrupt industry people, but like industry people easily swayed by money, ethically. But then, there are the other people who I guess could represent the producers of films who are, I guess, essentially laundering money. Which, there's tons of corruption in Hollywood, I'm sure. I don't have any first-hand accounts, but I'm sure there's tons of corruption in Hollywood where people are using films as, people with money are using films as basically like tax write-offs or whatever. Then you have the critics, who are representative of, film critics, who don't really have any real input to say because they don't have any real practice in the art. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more to say about it, and I think that person who made that Letterboxd review definitely expressed it more eloquently than I did. Because I keep saying there it is again. But I think it was really insightful and a very interesting interpretation of the film. I think another thing that helped create the tension was the cinematography. It was very Kubrickian, or is it Kubrick-esque? I don't know what these fake film words mean. But yeah, like a Kubrick film, the cinematography feels very voyeuristic and disembodied. I really like the way that Kubrick frames his films, and subsequently how this film is framed, where it's just, there's a lot of wide shots and it shows like a person. I can't even like go back as far, but like the bottom of the frame is like perfectly where their feet are with some padding there, and the top of the frame is like where their heads are with some padding, and it just feels like it feels really clinical and sterile. And I know a lot of people don't like that about his films, but I think I'm talking about Kubrick right now. I think it adds a touch of uncomfortability that a lot of filmmakers don't. Well, I mean, there are tons of filmmakers who add uncomfortability through their filmmaking techniques, but I think that one, it's not unique to Kubrick, but I think he definitely pioneered it. And another thing about the tension that the menu adds is like the quick editing, because I already talked about like how it kind of showed you the names of the dishes and the recipes, and how further into the film it started to get more self-aware. Um, but the way that like it cuts to next scenes, like it's like really abrupt, and you think there should be more to it, or at least some sort of tale to kind of add a breather at the end of a scene. But no, it just cuts, and it's not like quick cuts like a Bohemian Rhapsody type of thing. It's definitely intentional, and it definitely adds to the tension. I don't know. There's just not. I think the way that the film is edited doesn't allow the audience to kind of compose themselves. So whenever it just abruptly cuts to the next scene, I don't know. It feels like whiplash. Not the film. The term whiplash. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the menu. I thought it was really interesting. And I'm glad I finally saw it. Yeah, we love homicidal, failed artist Gordon Ramsay in this household.